Hello guys, and welcome back to the video. So in this video I want to talk to you about the recession that just got real to me in Sweden, and if one should be thinking about selling Palantir or buying more. So this is going to be a very interesting conversation from my private life. So if you want to stick around and you like this content, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you want, you can support the channel on Patreon. But let's get into the video. So in Sweden, the recession has just gotten real. The national interest rate is 2.5% currently. This used to be minus 0.50% even before COVID. And this doesn't seem like a lot, but Sweden has a very different system from the US. And I think, in my estimation, about 80% of the people are on flexible rates, meaning that the moment the interest rate increases, everyone is paying more per month. Like all of Sweden is paying more per month. In the US, as far as I understand, you get a 30-year mortgage and you have a fixed rate. So even if the Fed funds rate is at 4 point something currently in the US, there's still a lot of folks that have gotten their house for 2%, and as long as they don't move, that continues to be 2%. In Sweden, the whole population, everyone's mortgage is going up. And currently, I think the average Swedish family has about $500 more per month in mortgage expenses. And then we have the electricity expenses, which is crazy over here thanks to the war and other things. And then there is the gas prices. And let me tell you, the Swedes would be very happy to pay the current prices that are in the US. It's like half than what we have here. It's crazy. So I am in the real estate business. My full-time job, I own a company where we are building hundreds of apartments in southern Sweden. And we saw the big gigantic companies start canceling projects. And in the beginning of this crisis, we were like, yeah, that's the big companies, because they're not very agile, they cannot really adapt, they don't know what to do in this situation, and we small companies, we can adjust and change course. But unfortunately, the truth is that even we have to stop slowing down or even completely pause projects for years to come, because right now it's super hard to sell real estate in Sweden. Basically, nobody's buying new production. I don't even really know what to say about this. It's very new for me, and this is why I said that the recession just got really real to me, because I've been covering, the US, and it has never really hit home. But anywhere that I go, everyone is talking about it, and everybody sees the slowing down. I just had a banker over at my house, and he also told me how much they see that all the real estate projects are being skipped and how much the real estate prices have fallen. So it is very crazy. So naturally, when the shit hits so close to me home, I start thinking, okay, what is the best way that I can, rearrange my finances? What do I need to do? How do I protect my family? This is always my first thought. And if Palantir is really the best investment, for me or for anyone for that matter. And spoiler alert, it is not the best investment, but you're going to want to hear the reasoning. I am not your financial advisor, and everybody's situation is different. But for the vast majority probably watching this people, unless you have a income source or, a company or an asset that you have in the tens of millions per year, I'm speaking about dollars, of course, then most probably in these really crappy times, you need to invest into yourself, and you need to invest into ways that you can increase your income, whatever that takes. And then once your income is, $1 million, $2, $3 million per year, of course you can invest it into stocks, and, you do whatever you want. But I hate that this fact does not get enough attention on Finance YouTube, because actually it's super important. Even if you invest $100 in Palantir and it 10x's in 5 years, you will only have $1,000. And $1,000 is lunch money for a family of 3 in Sweden. So I hate that this really doesn't get attention. If you're not able to put hundreds of thousands of dollars into, index funds, and preferably millions of dollars, where you can really compound the interest on many, many years, you will not really achieve the financial freedom that you want, and it will make you go into very risky place and try to play options to, you know, skip over this fact in life that you need to increase your income. And I know I said this before, I really hate how this does not get enough attention. Let me tell you examples of what you can do. Obviously, everyone's situation is different. I have bought a book on how to negotiate by Trump's lawyer. And literally the next day that I read this book, I saved $5,000 on the negotiations. And very closely after, we were negotiating on a $2 million real estate deal. And, you know, when you read this book, he tells you that every partner in the negotiation has to win. So if you want to get something, you need to go in higher so that, you know, you can lower, so that both parties feel like they got something. So we went into this real estate deal negotiations, and we wanted to be 50% owners, and we wanted to get a $2 million investment. And we increased everything, you know, so we increased like, okay, we want $2.2 million invested. We want 55% partnership, and we were completely waiting for the other part to, you know, try to push down and, you know, maybe give us 45% so we can meet on 50% and, you know, push down the investment. And we told them, like, this is what we would like and, you know, what the partnership would look like. And they just said yes. So, and this was after reading a book that cost me $15. So count out the return on that one. And I have countless of examples on this. I paid for Grant Cardone courses, and, you know, then we closed way more investors and like in the business. And there is countless examples of this. You know, you can do an accounting course, or you can do a course that makes you be better at your job. And then you can take a higher position and earn way more. These are the things to do for the vast majority of the people who are watching this video. Again, unless you already own a business or have an income that is in the millions of a year, then this is probably what you need to focus on. And we also have to be real about Palantir. Because once your money is taken care of, then the next thing is you need to invest it into something. And, you know, I also have to be honest about myself. Is Palantir the best investment currently, or is there some other place where the money would be better at the moment? So again, we have to be real. The growth at Palantir is slowing down, and this poses a challenge in my thesis. This is granted a very small challenge. So this is not like an FTX or a TTCF situation that the stock is, you know, possibly going bankrupt or something like this. There's none of those at Palantir. Palantir is very likely never going bankrupt. They're very, very off financially. But in my thesis, I did have them growing 30% per year. And if their growth doesn't go back up, and they're only growing 23% and 20%, you seriously have to reevaluate what you are paying for Palantir. And again, I still love the company, but you have to be real when you're, especially in these times, when you're analyzing stocks. The good news is that when you look at recent earnings of Snowflake and you look at Salesforce, all of them are experiencing a slowdown. And this basically means that this is not a Palantir problem. So the company that we love is still the company that we love. They're still doing good. But the macro is just so strong at the moment that everybody is experiencing the pain. And again, so this also means that if you're buying at the current prices on Palantir and the macro turns, probably the growth will return, because again, this is not a Palantir problem. This is a macro problem that everybody is experiencing. Then you're going to get all this growth for free. And also what is really important to keep in mind, because, you know, there is this thing called buying the dip, and lately we have a lot of those on Palantir. It's basically only going down. And, you know, you always have to reevaluate yourself. Is this a good point to buy the dip? And yes, the fact that the growth has come down is a major change. But when I had this thesis, Palantir was at $12. And currently Palantir is below $8. And this price decrease more than compensates you for the slow growth. So this means that you're taking zero risk with the growth. you're always taking a risk, but very little risk with the growth. And once the growth comes back, then you were not buying the stock at $10 or $11. If it would have kept on growing, you bought it at $7. So that's a big win. So this is why I'm not selling the current Palantir position. And just so you know, I'm very much focusing on increasing my income, and I am in the middle of trying to close a very big deal, which I cannot really disclose. But if that deal goes through, I will have access to 7 digits in US dollars. And a lot of it I'm planning to deploy in Palantir if the price stays this low. And this is why I had to go through this again and, see what I'm doing. And honestly, I'm trying to help the viewer and trying to, provide value to you. And this is truly what I think in these bad times, what gives value. Focus on yourself, invest in yourself, increase your income. And if you have 50 to 100,000 to invest, you're much better off investing that into, some course or some other thing where you can really increase your income potential. And once you have millions or, many hundreds of thousands of dollars lying around, then it's time, and a very high income, then it's time to think about stock investments. And again, you make your own choice. I don't want to necessarily influence you. This is the way that I'm thinking. Let me know if you agree. Let me know what stocks you're buying. Please make sure that you're subscribed. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.